So success stories are the foundation on which we want to build a good rugby program at UXI Sports and our UXI Rugby Institute. One of our success stories is with us today, Lunathi Nxele, who's playing with Moolman. He was a member of the 2016 Western Province Rugby Academy way back when we were still running out of Cape Town and guys were hiking over the mountains and working out of I don't want to say substandard, but a very basic gym. Today we've got modern facilities, obviously out in Stellenbosch, and great facilities across the country. But Lunathi, welcome back. Tell us a little bit about your journey, where you went to school, and how you ended up at the Province Academy.
Thanks for having me here today. Really appreciate you guys calling me in. I'll start off. I went to Muir College school, boys school from Utinake, and my rugby journey started then. Obviously, my rugby journey started in primary school, but I went to school at Muir College. And afterwards, I made the Creamic under 18, 2014. And then 2015, I was doing my matric year. And then I came to Cape Town end of the year 2015 for a trial at the academy, which is I took a bus the same day. And I had to do the trial. After doing the trial, I went back home with my close friend Lusanda. And then after that, then the academy sent me the invitation that I'm accepted. And then 2016, I joined the academy, which was a great year. And I think from 2016 when I joined the academy, we still had to do the pre-season, which was a tough one for me. And I think ever since I played rugby, it was the most toughest pre-season for me. Even now, I think it prepared me for the world. So it's how everything started. And then after the academy, I joined CPUT. I played under 20s SWD the same year because Coach Moolman sent me to SWD to play under 20 Currie Cup. And after the under 20 Currie Cup, I joined CPUT for Varsity Shield. And I think it's where everything started also, where after CPUT winning 2 Varsity Shield titles. And after winning 2 Varsity Shield titles, I joined Moolman. And after Moolman, then I went to Italy. And then I came back now again. I'm at Moolman now again, playing Currie Cup. So it was quite a long journey. Obviously, everything started when I came to Cape Town to the academy.
Yeah. So long journey, having started with the Province Academy. Tell us, you mentioned you know how much having been at the academy helped you in your journey and your rugby career. Do you want to give us some examples and details on how you felt that gave you the push to go into a professional career?
I think what I would say about the academy, in my own opinion now, it prepared me for life, and it prepared me for things that came, things that kept coming on now in life. For instance, when I first came to the academy, I had to meet new people, and it's basically how the work environment is. Also, when you get into a place, you don't know everyone. You have to speak to people and try to make friends and try to gel around the people that you are. And that's one thing about life, that you have to know how to communicate with people and also make friends. And besides the rugby in our world, on top of that, obviously now the pre-seasons that we did in the academy, it was actually hectic and tough in terms of the trainings that prepared me also. And also back then I was still 20, I had to decide if I still want to do the rugby thing or not, because it was tough in terms of the gymming. Actually, the academy, I would say, it prepared me for the life I'm living now in terms of professional, because everything was like basically professional. Wake up in the morning, go to the gym. After going to the gym, have a field session, and we still did the strongman. I still remember the strongman. So I would say the academy really did prepare me for.
Andri, I think if I can come in there, just when all the new intakes, and it's something that we've reintroduced with UXI again since I've been back 2 years ago. We pretty much run what we call a hell week. He's talking about pre-season. I think he's been rather polite. But back then we spent 2 weeks away from the campus, either on hikes in the mountains. Sleeping in tents, finishing off with a 20k hike from Hout Bay over to Cape Town, but really solidifying the group. And as he's talking about, getting to know his teammates, and I think when you when you channel youngsters in the right direction, all facing the same obstacles, tough moments, that's when they learn to pull together. That's when you see your true leaders, and that's really where Lunathi started to stand out.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see where he's ended.
Yeah.
You know.
And you mentioned that you studied at CPUT and you've got a qualification in supply chain management.
Yes,
am I right? Are you currently working at the moment?
No, I'm not working at the moment. I'm basically just focusing on full-time rugby. That's all I'm doing. But now currently, a guy at the Poland also tried calling me for to do something to do with marketing, but it clashes sometimes in terms of we have to be full-time, and Coach Harvey's also just wants his boys focus on what you have to do.
No, for sure. But even though you're not working, obviously it's been massively valuable for you to be able to have studied something and gotten that qualification. What does it mean for young professional players to build that balance of rugby and studies?
Obviously, I'll go back to what I would say now in terms of the academy. We were taught in the academy also, like, there were still people doing classes then, and I think we were told that education is very important. Don't only focus on rugby. So that balance in terms of me having to have studied and also having to play rugby actually played a big role in terms of my life, because now I can always fall back into something.
Yeah. What I always found, having worked with young professionals coming through the rugby pathways, is besides preparing you for life after rugby, if you've got that breakaway of studying, it breaks the stress and the pressure of having to just focus on rugby. And it's almost like a mental break, going from the field, doing the transition, sitting behind your books. It takes all of your eggs out of one basket and at least spreads it across, not just career-wise, but time, mental focus, mental wellness. You know that I'm not just a rugby player, there is something else that I'm developing in myself personally. Did you find that?
Yeah, because when I still studied at CPUT, luckily I played Varsity Shield. Also CPUT, when I got to CPUT, they had to qualify for Varsity Shield. Luckily for me, I was part of that group that qualified for Varsity Shield. So it was a thing of the first 3 months, I don't want to lie, the first 3 months of when you had to play Varsity Shield, you just focus on Varsity Shield. And then when you have to go back to studying, you had to catch up in terms of your schoolwork. But I think for CPUT also prepared me for that in terms of studying and playing rugby. And I was lucky and fortunate enough that I was able to do that up until I got my honors now in supply chain. So I always juggled rugby and studies, because of my parents always told me, like, you can't just focus on one thing, always have to at least study.
Yep.
Can I just come in there? But
yes.
You talk about the when you joined the academy back in 2016, and this is the way the academy itself has adapted as well to create a better product for boys. But in 2016, Western Province Rugby Academy back then, we didn't offer the academic side with it. Okay, whereas nowadays at UXI Private Education, the guys have got a multitude of different options that they can study, from IMM degrees, you know, through to HFPA, EduFOS. There's a hell of a lot of educational options. What would your advice be to youngsters coming in, jumping into a academic and rugby program together?
My message to youngsters, I'll basically tell them that if you get the opportunity to study, you must make sure that you do, because it's very important in terms of preparing for life after rugby. So that, and obviously now that you also have the opportunity to play rugby and study, that's a great thing that can ever happen to a youngster. So any youngsters that's in the environment of studying and playing rugby, and it's actually a great thing to do, and I'd always advise them to jump into it. And also the parents also should encourage the youngsters to study and play rugby if they could.
Excellent.
Last question for you, Moolies. Lunathi went to SWD under-20s during his time at the Western Province Rugby Academy.
Yeah.
Often there's this perception under young players that you should try and push for the big contracts with the big franchise unions, but there's a big role to play by the smaller unions to create pathways. Why is it important for players to consider, you know, building a career throughout the supposed smaller unions, you know, as part of developing the professional pathway?
Yeah, look, I think everybody goes through different steps. So with Lunathi in particular, Lunathi was 19 in matric, so when he arrived here, he was under 20. So he fell out of that Western Province under 19 contention. So back in 2016, we still had our first divisions were still under 20. So it was deemed the next step in getting. He had played Craven Week under 18. He then went to SWD, played under 20. That under 20 cap or campaign got him his potential bursaries, coupled with his school achievements and the year at the academy at CPUT, which then afforded him that opportunity to go on and get his honours in supply chain management. But UXI is all about creating pathways.
Yeah.
You know, we've got 6 institutes around the country. This year, I think we've had close to 50 odd boys that have played junior under 19 and under 21 Currie Cup rugby across the 14 unions. And some of those boys have started in Cape Town, in Stellenbosch, but ended up playing for the Limpopo Bulls, or they started in Pretoria and ended up playing for the Pumas. Likewise, in Griquas, Free State, the guys have all got that exposure. It's all about, we talk about ticking boxes in terms of your rugby CV, and those guys that are really driven will look to try and get that provincial cap, which might then just open another door for him in the next step in his life, and that next step might be a varsity cup campaign like Lunathi did through being offered a bursary. We've had some great stories this year. I think Sean van Zyl is one of them at NNMU, who I think he was voted their player that rocks this year. You know, they had a great varsity shield campaign, and it's played EP under 21 now the whole year. So there's a lot of journeys that guys go on. This year's been fantastic for us as well, because we've had guys that have played. Lunathi himself played for Villages Rugby Club back in 2018, and I think again in 2023. But we've had a lot of boys this year. We've had 5 or 6 boys this year that have played Villages first side during the Super League campaign at the age of 19, 20 years old.
Yep.
You know, and Villages have just won the Super League in Cape Town. So that going on their CV is massive, and there's 3 boys now that are going over to the UK. We interviewed Tom Braun the other day.
Yep.
You know, and they're going over there now for 6 months to go and play rugby. So it's all about that. Lunathi's just had a great time in Italy. I mean, I'm sure that was a fantastic time in your life.
Yeah, it was exactly like the Italy experience was amazing. It was really amazing in terms of the people in Italy, the food, and how the rugby also. So I really enjoyed myself there in Italy. And it goes back in what you're saying, Coach Mulis, in terms of the opportunities that you get, you have to take it by both hands, and also the lessons that you get taught in terms of like the academy. In my instance now, the lessons that I got taught in the academy, I had to take it by both hands. And also one experience, now that you're speaking, I'm thinking that in the academy also I played wing, so Coach Mulis used me as a wing. So back then I was like, why am I playing wing, all those kind of things. And probably now this season, first when he started the SA Cup, Coach Harvey's also used me as a wing. So in terms of that experience, if Coach Mulis never played me wing, maybe I was playing wing now at 28 to 29, it was going to be an issue for me. But since that, back then, there was an experience that I got. And now that I had to play wing, I already adapted to it. So I think it's how life is. Along the way, you get experiences, and then you have to just use it accordingly and take it by both hands.
Yeah, and you'd say it's feasible to think you can create longevity in a rugby career, but not getting that massive contract straight out of school. You can do that by essentially just staying involved in rugby, wherever you play. Opportunities come when you're always staying at the forefront, and when you stay on the field, when you're training, whether it's club rugby, whether it's playing at a smaller union. I mean, you had an opportunity to go play in Italy, which is amazing. So I think the lesson is, and I also always tell young guys, just stay involved, just continue playing.
Yeah, you know, I think that if I can come in that, Lunathi, the 2 things. Coaches look at the person. Okay, this youngster sitting next to me now is right from the day he entered the academy, was a great guy, great teammate. Yep. You know, he's captained Boland a couple of times this year in the SA Cup. You don't just go and captain a province if you don't have leadership abilities and you know, have the ability to pull people together. So when we talk about creating opportunities and being references for boys going forward, he's done that in every organization that he's joined, be it the school, then the academy, then CPUT. The fact that he's worked for CPUT post his degree means that he's left positive impacts on each environment he's been in. And now being a full part of that professional team at Boland, Harvey's having pulled him in. We know the kind of coach Harvey's is. We know the kind of culture that Harvey's wants. This is going to all stand him in great stead to one day when he eventually decides that he's getting too slow or the professional game is getting too demanding and he's going to enter the working environment. He's going to create opportunities for him around that. And I think that's a testament to his discipline and focus that he's shown on attacking each step that he's taken, with proper commitment and focus.
Yeah. To finish off, Willie's mentioned Boland and the culture. You guys had a great season in the Currie Cup. What led to you guys doing so well this year?
I think also I want to go back to what you said now in terms of the guys staying in it and staying playing rugby. Because I always wanted to play Currie Cup when I still entered the academy. And the academy opened doors in terms of we used to practice the Western Province VP side, the Currie Cup side. Used to play against Elplon and them and Juan de Jong. Used to practice against them. Still have pictures of them practicing at Newlands back then. So that always made me believe in terms of even if how small you are, you can always make it. But in terms of me wanting to play Currie Cup, it's been like since I was a child, and only now I had to qualify. I had to make Poland qualify for Currie Cup for me to play Currie Cup, which is like a big thing for me. So I think it's great for what you just said. The guy must just stay in it. You don't know what can happen. You just stay playing, and you can create opportunities in terms of that also. You don't have to wait for the big contracts for things to happen. You just have to just stay and play, and you never know what can happen. So.
And work hard.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Never stop believing.
Yeah, for sure.
Boland this season.
This season, Boland this season, actually it was a great season for us in terms of, actually the SA Cup was stressful. I think as soon as we entered the Currie Cup, we knew we are the underdogs. We just qualified and we just had to just go out and play. And I think it was in terms of winning the first game against the Cheetahs, I think after winning the first game against the Cheetahs, we knew any team that comes to Wellington, it's going to be a different ball game in terms of we believe in the field, we believe in the weather, we believe in the community and people coming out and supporting us. So I think the belief we started having it during the SA Cup, but I think the guys also bought in terms of what Coach Harvey wanted us to do, the hard work that we put in. So I think it started all there.
And amazing to see a sold out Boland Stadium in Wellington, all those people, having a team to get around.
That was great, especially in the Blue Bulls game, because I think on the Thursday, the tickets were sold out on Thursday already, so there were no longer tickets on Thursday. So that doesn't just happen. People just in that side, they love the rugby and they started supporting us big. And actually that was amazing for us also as players to start believing in terms of if they believe in us, we can do great things for the community and bring back Wellington rugby again.
I was at that Bulls game. I actually bought the French under-18 side to come and watch it. And as an old Boland player, it was fantastic to see the stadium full to the capacity. It was really incredible, and you guys had. It was a great game to be and watch. And I thought you had a great game. But the team itself, getting that win was super special.
Yeah. Lunathi, congrats on a great career, and we hope to see you back one day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Andy.
Cool. So if you want to build a similar story to Lunathi, get in touch with us at UXI. We would love to welcome you and see what you can do and give you the opportunity to come and work hard and create a pathway within rugby. Until next time, thanks very much.